President commissions 24-hour power supply to Leg 1 and Wakenham. The first family joins children at State House for the annual Christmas party. Senior citizens are lauded for their contributions to the nation's development, and the head of state brings Christmas cheer to young patients of the pediatric ward at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation on Christmas Day. We'll have the details of these and other presidential activities in this week's edition of the Diary for the period December 20 to December 26, 2014. I'm Paul McAdam. The island communities of Leg 1 and Wakenham in the Essequibo River are now experiencing a 24-hour power supply thanks to the upgrades done by the Ghana Power and Light Company. The historic transition was formally acknowledged on December 22 when the President declared operational the rehabilitated power plant serving the Leg 1 island.
24 hours electricity is going to transform the lives of the people of these two islands. Particularly, it will help the women folks who will be able to do a lot of their work using the technology that exists today, like washing machines. They will be able to ease their burden and the pressure that they carry, the unequal pressure that they carry in the house, in the household in every way. Norman, I don't think you don't like that, no? So I think that that is one major area that I know that women will have much more time to do more productive things for themselves.
The youths of the island will also gain substantial benefits from the new service.
You see how well our children have been doing at the CXC examinations over the years. We have invested heavily in education, and because of that, we see that the passes are now being spread out right across our country. Last year and the year before, the top school that produced the top students for the Caribbean were from the Essequibo coast. And in a way, they had some advantage, those areas where you had 24 hours electricity. But now we expect to hear that the children of Leg 1 and Wakenham challenging the rest of the country in producing top students as well, because we are now investing in you. Indirectly, it might be said, but you will be having 24 hours electricity.
The head of state expressed his hope that development on the two islands would, quote, grow rapidly, end of quote, with the new arrangement. So much so that the Ghana Power and Light Company would have to increase the generating capacity of the power station. The power plant now has 3 new 513 kVA units, auxiliary supplies, and a heavy lift forklift. The new generating sets were installed over a 3-day period from December 9 to 11, with successful load testing and synchronization being done to ensure that their usage is assured and machine rotation is possible without power outages. Fuel storage capacity has also been expanded to enable at least 3 weeks of continuous operation. Additional staff have also been trained and employed to provide maintenance and other operations. Government continues to move closer towards making the Amalia Falls hydropower project a reality. This was revealed by President Ramatar when he addressed residents at Leg 1 during the recent commissioning ceremony for the 24 hours service power plant. President Ramatar said that some of the recent investments made by the GPL are part of the preparations for the hydropower project.
From Parika right on to Skeldon is interlinked. We hope that that interlink will also come to go all the way to the Essequibo coast, because when hydropower comes, for all of us to benefit from cheap electricity, we will need that link. And that link will be also advantageous in case you have problems in one area, that you can switch out and help other areas to prevent the regular shortages of electricity.
Hydropower is going to become a reality, he stressed, despite the efforts of the political opposition.
We are now very close to concluding another deal with the same or even better conditions so that we can have hydroelectricity in our country and our country can move forward at a good and more rapid pace than it is doing at the present time. That is on the table, on the cards right now. Norway has just transferred $80 million to the IDB, and that will go into the hydroelectricity project that we have. So we have not given up on that project.
It is estimated that once Somalia Falls hydropower comes on stream, some $90 billion will be saved annually. The staffers of the presidential complex retreated to carols courtesy of the Guyana Police Force Band and Choir. The compound of the presidential complex echoed with the songs of Christmas carols when the Guyana Police Forces Band and Choir gave their traditional performance as part of the season's festivities. The band, which was ably conducted, gave a performance which saw the playing of several traditional and new Christmas songs and carols to an appreciative audience of mostly staffers who took some time from their busy schedules to enjoy the music along with other special invitees. The band members, whose performances were curtailed somewhat due to the inclement weather, were praised by President Ramatar, who joined his staff in the forecourt of the complex.
I wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for over the years and the time that you have given us really good, high quality entertainment. I do really enjoy the police band. I think it's one of the best bands we have in the country. And I hope that we can continue to develop it, to give you new instruments, more variety. I would like to see many of you playing the violins. I love the violin, it's a beautiful instrument. And also I saw some people being trained. I went to some concert one of the embassies had, and they had some Guyanese people playing the cello, which is another very beautiful instrument. And you have such great talent in the police force. I would like to see the band grow from strength to strength in the new year. And the choir, of course, you have been doing a tremendous job. Very often you have me at the edge of my seat, wanted to come and join you, but I have to hold back myself sometimes in not coming. But so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work that you have been doing, the tremendous work, and the entertainment that you have been providing. And to take the opportunity to wish, I know that over the years you have been serving us, serving our public, our government, our public, generally in entertaining people. And I want to take the opportunity not only to say thanks, but to have a chance to wish you and your loved ones. I say loved ones because in only family you got bigger loved ones too. And you and all your loved ones. I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2015.
In closing, he made mention of the social role that they can also play, as he cited the example set by Venezuela's military forces and big band orchestras, which have been training youth and others to become musicians.
That music, and big band music in particular, like this kind of music, has contributed in a big way to bring down crime in their society. And now that program from Venezuela is being adopted in the United States and many other parts of the world. And this is one of the services, this is another soft side of law enforcement and policing that we can use to help kids who are not so privileged to also learn some of these instruments, to play them, and to give them hope that they can move forward. So once more, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to work with you and to hear from you.
The contributions of senior citizens were acknowledged when the president joined members of the Cane Grove reunion team to spread Christmas cheer to senior citizens at that community, Mahaika and Strathavon. As has been a norm for years, the Cane Grove reunion team returned from the United States and, along with the president, presented hampers to approximately 80 senior citizens.
In a way, it's my way of telling you thanks and how much I appreciate all the work that you have done in the past. Because if our country is moving forward today, it is because of the foundation that you laid and the work that you did and the benefits that people of today are enjoying. We are doing it, we are building it on your shoulders, so to speak. We are standing on your shoulders, so to speak, at this time. And the government too has always been conscious about your conditions, and we have been constantly trying to make your conditions better as senior citizens of our country, and that is another way of recognizing the work that you did in your youth.
President Ramotar lauded the efforts of the Cane Grove Reunion Group, noting that this coincides with government's effort of giving support to vulnerable groups in society. He noted that over the years, the PPPC administration has put systems in place to assist the elderly and the less fortunate through their many programs and policies.
In 1992, when the PPP Civic came to government, the old age pension, everyone was not entitled to an old age pension. Before you got an old age pension, you had to pass what is called the means test. You had to, first of all, tell the authorities that sometimes you had to try to lie to them and say you don't have children, or if you tell them you have children, you have to say that they don't look after you, they abandon you, you don't know where they are, and then you will get $300 per month. Since we got in office, we removed the means test completely, and your only qualification for an old age pension is when you've reached the pensionable age of 65. And every single year we have been adding to it, and it has moved now from $300 to now $13,600 per month. And this, we are the only one of, that I know of, we are only one of 2 countries in the whole world that I know of where this happens. And now the other country that does this is Bolivia. No other countries give a pension that is non-contributory, where you haven't contributed any amount to the pension, but the government gives this to you because you have attained the age of 65. And that shows you in a nutshell the care, because this was started by Chelly Jagan after he came to government.
He spoke of some of the other interventions made by government to bring relief to seniors.
We spend $9 billion a year to subsidize electricity so that people don't have to pay more on their electricity bill. But for pensioners, we give an extra subsidy for those households that are headed by pensioners. We pay them a certain amount extra free, the electricity we give. As we do with water, we allow pensioner households headed by pensioners a bigger volume of water free of charge before charges are made. So you see how much of things, sometimes you don't see some of these things, that we intervene to try to make the life of our senior citizens much more comfortable. I want to take the opportunity to congratulate the Cane Grove Reunion Inc. that has been doing this work since 2008 to see that those colleagues abroad and those here who have combined themselves into this Cane Grove Reunion Inc. have been doing a tremendous job in order to help and give back to their communities.
Funding for this event was made possible by the annual Cane Grove Reunion Dinner and Dance fundraising event and raffle, which was held in the U.S. Throughout the years, this group has been giving support to the less fortunate through various programs. Some of these include the distribution of pharmaceuticals and health supplies to health centers, clothing, and footwear, as well as hampers. Hundreds of children were entertained when the First Family hosted the annual Christmas party on the lawns of State House. Over 600 children were treated by the President and the First Lady, Deolashmi Ramotar, at a Christmas party on State House on Main Street. The First Lady, who greeted and interacted with the children, wished them all the best for the season and told them of Santa bringing good cheer and treats for them all. The president wowed the children as he showcased his own vocal skills in a sing-along of the popular Christmas song Jingle Bells.
Laughing all the way, and bump his way, making spirit bright. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a sleigh out tonight. Jingle bell, jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells,
Jingle all the way.
They were then treated to lunch, after which they were then presented with various gifts. The December 21 event is one of the many activities planned by the First Ladies Foundation in keeping with the festive season. Parties and gift distributions were also done in Blackbush, Polder, Bartico, and Linden.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to hold to your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All right, thanks very much for being here and enjoy yourself for the rest of the day.
You're watching The Diary, where we have been recapping the highlights of the country's president's weekly activities. More after the break.
Pensioners will enjoy a 50% increase in assistance, bringing it to $30,000 per annum for pensioners who are customers of the Guyana Power and Light Company Incorporated. Further, old age pension is to be increased by 5% with effect from May 1, 2014 to $13,125 monthly, targeting the 42,500 senior citizens.
In an effort to respond more promptly to citizens, the Home Affairs Ministry has launched an online crime reporting system which allows citizens who possess or have access to cell phones, computers, or other devices with internet connections to report criminal activities. Citizens can get instant access to security personnel on BlackBerry Messenger via 280-4E429. Reports of corruption can also be made on www.ipaidthebribe.com. These reports can be made anonymously. Guyana is set to achieve the goal set by the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF of universal birth registration by 2015. The General Register Office has launched an intensive campaign. It has decentralized its services to specifically cater to the needs of residents living in the interior location. Bedside registration is also done in several public hospitals. There are now 200 registration centers operating in 10 regions. Citizens are urged to ensure that all births are registered.
The president interacted with many of the late shoppers when he did a walkabout on Regent Street on Christmas Eve. President Donald Ramotar took the opportunity to interact with shoppers and the general public when he did a walkabout on Regent Street on Christmas Eve. The president was greeted warmly by many of the hundreds of passers-by who were doing their last-minute shopping before Christmas. Accompanied by Public Works Minister Robeson Bin and Acting Tourism Minister Irfan Ali, the president and his entourage worked from the junction of King and Regent Streets to City Mall at Camp and Regent. He got a first-hand look at what is arguably the busiest part of Georgetown during this festive season. For many of those shopping as well as those conducting business, it was a chance to get up close and personal with the president, many taking the opportunity to bring certain issues to the fore and offering their own advice on some issues, while some were just eager to have their photographs taken with him.
It's always a great joy to walk around and to share this season with people. This is a tradition I have for many, many years in doing it, and today I was very happy to have had some time in order to try to extend best wishes, Merry Christmas to the Guyanese people and to those who I met on the road. It was a very delightful feeling to be among the people and the shoppers in town.
So what would be the message to the Guyanese people as they're celebrating Christmas?
Well, to enjoy yourselves. We've had a long year, a not so easy year, full of challenges. We have achieved a lot, but we could have achieved more. And I look forward to next year for us to move ahead victoriously and having an even better 2015.
He also offered best wishes to those who may be less well off at this time.
Allow me also to take the opportunity to extend to some of those who are not in the best of health, some of those who are still struggling from one region or another. They are some of the less fortunate in our society. To extend to them best wishes and to take the spirit of the season of hope so that we will be able to move forward and overcome many temporary difficulties that we might be facing.
Minister Ben also extended season's greetings on behalf of his ministry along with Minister Ali. The young patients of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation got a special visit from the President on Christmas Day. President Donald Ramotar and his daughter Lisa Ramotar paid a visit to the young patients of the Georgetown Public Hospital's pediatric ward on Christmas morning.
This is your boy? Yeah, what happened to him? Good boy? Where? Where are you from? Industry. Okay, our girl. Hopefully we recover very quickly. This is to add to see if we can ease the pressure on him and yourself a little bit. All right. I hope that she gets better and this will help you to add a little bit of joy to her and to you, right? And all the best. Is the baby feeling better now, a little bit?
Yes.
All right, that's for you and the baby too. Yes. Hopefully you have a better Christmas, right? All the best. Are you here for now?
Yes.
Okay, you want to look after it. All the best. Okay.
President Ramotar spoke of his appreciation for the medical staff on duty during the festive season.
First of all, I take the opportunity to wish the hospital staff as a whole, particularly the hard-working doctors and nurses, a Merry, Merry Christmas. As I mentioned to some of them, I know what it is because my wife was a nurse. I met her as a nurse and we married when she was a nurse. So I got quite a good idea about the life and the sacrifices that they make with their own families to ensure that the sick is treated well and looked after properly. So I want to first of all to extend on behalf of the government and on behalf of the nation, a big thank you to them and let them know how much we appreciate what they're doing.
He said that the Christmas Day visit is one that is traditional.
To try to make some effort to ensure that their sufferings or their pain, that we can help our nursing and medical staff to help to alleviate it even in a little way. So this is a tradition that I have continued from previous presidents, I think, right from the very beginning. And I'm very, very happy to do so, to come to the hospital, to spend some time with those who are sick and those who are away from home, so we can share with them the wonderful feelings of the season, of sharing, of giving, and of letting them know that they're in our thoughts.
Gifts were also presented to the medical staffers on duty. The President and his daughter also visited the patients of the intensive care unit to bring some amount of hope to the relatives and those within the unit. That's all in this week's diary for the period December 20 to December 26, 2014. Before we go, these were some of the highlights. President commissions 24-hour power supply to Legwan and Wakenham. The first family joined children at State House for the annual Christmas party. Senior citizens are lauded for their contributions to the nation's development. And the head of state brings Christmas cheer to young patients of the pediatric ward at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation on Christmas Day. Do join us again for the next program when we will bring you more of the President's activities. I'm Paul McAdam. For more information, contact us via email or visit our website. Thank you for watching us.